What inspired you to become a fighter?
Well, I was 9 years old, and I don't know if you can see this tattoo on my leg, but it's for the first fight, March 8th, 1971, between Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. And the political view on that fight was, if you look into it now, you can see that it was a history fight. I didn't know the political view of it. I just knew something special was happening. And I fell in love with Joe Frazier, and I followed his career. And from then on, as a kid, if you emulate who you like, you become what they are, and Joe Frazier was my champ.
Tell me about your training routine as a fighter back in the day.
Okay, Travis, I explained to you earlier, I had actually 3 careers. The first career, when I was 15 years old, I started with John Capobianco. I was pretty gifted, but I discovered smoking pot and drinking, and the two is not a winning formula. If you're gonna box and go one-on-one competition, you got to give it all to boxing condition-wise. So my first career, I was training all the time, but I would find time to party like crazy on the weekends. And at 27 years old, I cleaned up my act, and I got my stuff together, and training became fun to me. It was no more of a job, going to the gym, have to do this. I loved it then, and I still love it.
Now tell me about your fights. After you stopped drinking and smoking, how did your fights do? Like, how did you do in those fights?
Well, obviously, if you're in better shape, you're going to do better. I quit drinking in October of 1989, and that March of 1990, they raised the age limit for the Golden Gloves, and a lot of people saying they were going to go for it and go for it and go for it. I went for it with, my left shoulder was damaged when I was 27 prior, so I went into the tournament with half a shoulder, and I went in with such grit and determination that the first year back, I made it to the semifinals of the open class. I mean, there's a difference between novice and open class. I made it to the semifinals of the open class, and I lost a razor close decision to a guy named Jeffrey Griswold that I still think I beat. My friends outside talking to follow it, they think I won the fight, and it was a good decision. It was on TV, but obviously when I got in better shape, I was able to win more fights.
And what do you think about some of the decisions today in amateur boxing?
Not only today, from the back in the days of Roy Jones and even before that, it's like you can watch a fight and see one guy win the fight, and then they just give it to the other fight. Not only in amateur boxing, professional boxing too.
Yeah, you see it all the time, but I feel like you're seeing it a lot more now in amateur boxing.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a lot more 8 counts, you know?
Yeah, 8 counts is always a protective way of protect the fighter and also give them the fight if they want to get an edge because he received an 8 count. So the opponent scored the 8 count. They're going to give him it looked like he won the round.
Because I was watching some fights. I don't know if you saw this fight. You were at the fights that day. This guy got tapped with a right hand and then he got an 8 count. He wasn't hurt. But later on in the fight, he did get hurt and then he deserved the 8 count. But when he did get hit the first time, he wasn't hurt. He was good. So, but I don't know about that 8 count, you know?
Yeah, that's, sometimes it seems like the referee, after he gives the 8 count, he's almost like apologetic because he knows that he jumped it too quick.
I mean, they try their best though, you know?
Yeah, referee's only human too. So, I mean, the way 8 counts is the same thing as bad decisions, Not as frequent, but, usually if you get an 8 count, you've been stunned a little bit, but not always.
And tell me, why are you currently not training any fighters?
This is my business. This is how I feed my kids, and this is how I pay my bills. I do have a couple of kids on the back burner that want to do it, but the better business for me is to get somebody that's out of shape, that wants to get in shape and use boxing as the format. Because I make it fun, we put on music, we have a good time, people like to come and go, and I train to get in shape. Whereas the fighter, I mean, you're one of the rare examples that love the sport that you would take it to the point that unless your head was hanging off, you still want to fight. I notice a lot of kids today don't have that grit unless they really are cut from the bread that says, I want to be a boxer. Today with MMA everything else that could distract in boxing. Like I said, when it's 1971, I could say honestly that I never watched, not that I have anything against it, I never watched the World Series, I never watched Super Bowl, I never really cared for them. But if there's a fight on TV, I'll watch it to the end, you know. So when boxing's in your blood, you'll do anything to win.
And tell me about your time in the Golden Gloves tournaments.
Golden Glove was one of the best times of my life. I have, like I said, my 3 careers. My first career in the Golden Glove, my first fight, I won a couple of smokers. That it was years ago. They used to have fights that you didn't have to have a USA Boxing, and you didn't have to have any experience. You could just go. They held them in churches and wherever they had anything. You could just go in there and fight. I won 5 smokers. Then I won the Golden Gloves, and I fought a ringer from Puerto Rico that he was really a professional fighter, but he didn't have any documented fights. He beat me that year. That was my first time in Golden Gloves. That was 1980. Then in 1983, I had a fight in the open class again division, and I made it in the semifinals. Even while I was drinking and partying, because I had such determination. I had a seesaw fight. Good thing the guy was in as bad shape as me, because I had more heart than him. I came back and won it. So I made it to the semis in '83. I tried to get in '84. I lost the first round of the tournament to the eventual winner. And then in '90, when I quit drinking, that's when I put everything together. I made it to the semifinals that time. So I mean, that's like the highlight of my career. You know, I have 2 silver gloves that I cherish, and I just love the tournament of the Golden Gloves. The Golden Glove was...
Hold them up in the camera.
Okay, we got this one, and then we got this one here. And if anyone tries to get them, they got to go 3-minute rounds with me.
And tell me about Mr. Cap.
Mr. Capobianco was a great trainer. He was a great man, and I mean, he was the kind of trainer that when you went to the ring with him, you had an aura just because of him. If you were one of his fighters, whoever you were fighting knew they were in for a tough time. And if you didn't perform the best that you could, you always knew you had to answer to him. So if you went out and you tried your best and you lost, you didn't have no problem with him. But if you dogged it just a little bit, you had that sense that he was going to open his mouth and get on you about it. It gave you the determination to say, I want to make sure that I win not only for myself, but for Mr. Cap.
Who's your favorite fighter?
Favorite fighter of all time? I mean, I love this fight, Frazier and Ali. That's what got me interested in it. Joe Frazier is number 2. Number 1 is Roberto Duran. He's got my name. I don't know if he stole Roberto and Adamu or Mono Di Pietro, but he's my favorite fighter. He was just so dynamic and so explosive, and he was exciting.
You know, when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard for the first time, right? He did good in that fight. And then the second time, he made a lot of money off the first one, so he was kind of sitting around, you know, cherishing that time, cherishing that money, eating. And then the second fight, he did bad. You hear stories that he actually had to go use the bathroom in the ring.
Right. I got one little quick story on that one too. I bet the house on the first fight with Leonard. I knew he was going to win, and I just knew that Leonard fought his fight, toe-to-toe like that. So when the second fight came around, I hated to do it, but I knew Leonard was going to outbox him. So I bet against him, and when we watched the fight, I watched it in a small place called the Comac Arena. Johnny Capobianco used to headline that, Junior used to headline that with live pro fights. I watched it in this small place, and when he did no mas, everyone was saying, wow, what a dog, what a rat, what a pig. I didn't feel bad that he did no mas because I bet against him, and he was my favorite fighter. So I felt like I was selling out on him, so when he pulled no mas, I didn't have no problem with it.
Who do you believe is the greatest fighter of all time?
Well, of all time, I would have to say Muhammad Ali, because, I mean, there might be somebody who's better than him, but if you look at his legacy, he did Sonny Liston, then he cleaned up all those heavyweights there. And then when he was exiled for 3 years, he came back and fought the top two guys, Bonavina and Quarry, and beat them, and then was thrown in with Frazier and did a great job with Frazier. Frazier's my favorite heavyweight. If you notice that fight on my leg, 71, Frazier won that fight. But the way he was able to overcome all the guys after that. The second reign, he had Norton, he beat Foreman, Ron Lyle, Jerry Quarry, Joe Bugner. He had that second crop of heavyweights that he had to defend against was, I would say, the best crop of heavyweights. I don't want to say of all time, but for him to fight them, he had the best reign of defenses against quality opponents.
And tell me, if you could go back in time to your younger self, what would you say to him?
I would say Joe Frazier knocked you down in the 15th round, and I'm still a Joe Frazier fan. But I guess I would have to ride Joe Frazier on my sleeve, because the rivalry was. And another thing too, I don't want to get too political about it, but the rivalry between the two was funny when he was calling him the Gorilla. That wasn't too bad. But then when he dug deep and called him an Uncle Tom, that's digging deep. And Joe Frazier's a hard-working man from the South that just wanted to be heavyweight champ. So for Ali to put his foot in his mouth to say that cuts a little deeper than just the sport of boxing. You know, me being a Frazier fan.
And do you believe fighters today are mentally weaker than fighters of the past?
Not everybody. I would say it depends on the particular fighter. You could get some guys, like if you watch the littler known guys, the way they fight, they go at it toe to toe. You know, once they start making big money, then they get softer. But
like Devin Haney.
Devin Haney, I hate to say it, he was soft before he even got in the ring. He was always a powder puff. That's my opinion. Run around and didn't want to take no chance. Once he got tagged by Garcia, I mean, even before that,
he's still scared of that hook. He's still seeing it.
Yeah.
His last fight, he was seeing it.
He's still feeling it. Yeah.
And it sucks because people liked him. He had a good fan base going, and now people are starting to lose interest in him because now he's
known
running.
as not only pity pat puncher, just safety first. You know, that's safety first is not. I mean, the skill of boxing is hit and don't get hit. But when you don't even hit the way he does, he's out of my fan base.
And he's always got something to say, trash talk.
Him and his father, they could stay where they are. I don't think there's any big money fights for them because they don't bring anything to the table.
And even when he fought, Devin Haney fought Lomo, right? And everybody says he won the fight, and Devin, it was a robbery.
Who'd they give that one to? To Devin, right?
Haney, yeah.
I didn't see the fight, but Lomo is Lomo. I didn't see the fight. I can't say it. Everybody liked him. He was not one of my favorite fighters either. I mean, I never seen anything really magical. I mean, if you look at some guys, Sugar Ray Leonard. I mean, even today, I don't know who the exciting guys are. I don't follow it as deep as I used to. But when you watch some guys, Marvin Hagler, it's just pure excitement and skill and gut and determination. Where if these guys don't bring that to the table, it doesn't appeal to the public.
Yeah, because professional boxing is more about ticket sales. Like, say, A fighter can pack out the arena, and B fighter can't sell one ticket. I'm going to pick A all day long.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Jake Paul?
Jake Paul is media. I mean, in a sense, he's good for boxing because boxing is a hurting sport right now. There's no Americans that could get the public to watch. So if he's going to do his WWE, I know his brother is, I think he's the USA WWE champion.
Yeah, Logan Paul.
So, I mean, when I see him, and when I see the brother, I'm a wrestling fan too, spring off the ropes and do a wrestling move, I say to myself, these guys, not only they're salesmen, they're athletes too. But I'm not really a Jake Paul fan because he made himself to be a boxer. He didn't come up the hard way.
And he is training pretty hard, but it's just he's not good. Like you think, like he sells it like he's gonna be the best when he gets in
Right.
the ring, and then you watch him fight, and you're sitting there. It's like I'm
Now,
still
was he
waiting.
the one who fought Mayweather?
No, that was Logan
Oh,
Paul.
Logan Paul. So
Mm.
Jake Paul, I don't know anything on him. I don't even know who he fought. But he got any name?
No,
Tyson
he
Fury's
fought.
brother, I think, right?
He fought Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tommy Fury beat him. And Tommy Fury, I'm not saying nothing against him. I don't know much on his resume, but I don't think he's a champion, right?
No, he was
Yeah.
never a champion. I think he's has 11 bouts. I think he's undefeated.
Just showed that once he took the step up to a real boxer, the matinee game is over.
And tell me about some of your greatest achievements in amateur boxing and overall in life.
All right. Overall in life was when I quit drinking. From there, I was able to do what I love to do. I mean, there wasn't even like a question of I'm stopped drinking. My left shoulder's hurt. What am I going to do? I'm just going to box. I devised a way of I couldn't jab the way that I used to jab, to lead jab, ladder jabs. I would wait for a guy to throw a right hand and time it. I would wait for my opponent to throw his jab and time it with my right hand since my jab was working. And it was, I fought an Olympic alternate one time, and he outboxed me pretty good the first round. This is why you don't listen to nobody either. They told me for that fight, no power, just tremendous skill. And the fight before, I fought his counterpart. No skill, just power. The guy who was supposed to be powerful never hurt me once, and the guy who was supposed to be skillful with no power stunned me pretty good in the first round. But what I was saying about that fight was I timed his jab and nailed him with a right hand, and he almost did a Devin Haney on me. He ran away from me the whole rest of the fight, That was a great achievement because he was an Olympic alternate, and I fought him right to the end. Then I used to fight another fella, let him rest in peace, Louis Cintron, that I got a funny story about. Zab Judah, his father was not really a friend of mine, but I would say a fan. He found out that me and this guy Cintron were the last fight of the night, and he waited all night long. Now, usually if I bring you to fight into the second fight, right after the fight, we're going home. We were in Yonkers, but he waited till the whole night to watch me and Louis Cintron fight. And me and Louis Cintron, it was like guaranteed to have the fans in an uproar after the fight. So that was being a fan favorite was kind of another feather in my cap, something that I look forward to. That when I went to fight, all my friends, whoever came in the audience, and I wasn't a brawler. I was technically sound, but I was aggressive. So.
And tell me about your gym here.
My gym here now is on Jericho Turnpike in Huntington Station, and I've been in business with boxing. Fitness Through Boxing is the name of it. Anybody watching, 631-992-8240 is my cell number. Free punching nose, don't call me. But my gym is primarily to get in shape. And I mean, if you were to come in here, I could have you spar with a few of my kids. I have a very few kids that really want to take it to the next level. So my primary customer is somebody who wants to learn how to box and get in shape.
Is there anything else you would like to add? Anything?
I just want to say, if you love boxing, give your whole life to it, because the only thing I could attribute it to is when you're in a football game or baseball game or a team sport that I never played, I never could understand the concept of, well, he hurt himself, put the other guy in. If I hurt my left shoulder, I better learn how to slip underneath it and get my right hand, because the one-on-one concept of boxing is, for me, is where it's at. After the fight, I won the fight. I'm happy as anything. I lost the fight. I'm depressed. I have to get over it the way that I got to go over it. So the idea, and again, Frazier Ali one was just magic that boxing still has that magic. So it was just a magic catch at the moment of going in the ring and competing one-on-one against somebody. That is just an ultimate high. Coming home with the win is even better.
Those are all the questions I have for you.
Well, Travis, it was great talking to you. I really look forward to you, and I'm a bigger fan of you Then Zab Judah's father was a fan of mine. Zab Judah's father. One other quick story about Zab Judah. I hope you're watching because I'll give you a punch. Zab used to fight in 139, and they were thinking about moving him up to 147. And I overheard his father say, "Yeah, we were going to move him up to 147, but Danico is still there." And then that's me. And then just when he said that, I looked over at the old man. The old man put his head down. And then afterwards, I said, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you, boy." But I'm glad I never had to run into Zab because he's a tough guy and a good guy too. But those are little things that if it was a team, we all got to take credit for. But as a one-on-one boxer, that was something that I did and something that I loved doing.
Well, thanks for the interview. Always a pleasure.
The next kid, baby.
All right,
Watch
everybody.
him. And in Brooklyn, whoever's going in with the next kid is coming home empty-handed because we got 2 champs here.
All right, everybody. That's it. Make sure to like and subscribe. The What's Next Kid out.